I wanted to expand on what I talked about yesterday about the whole Bungie making it that our power level don't reset in Renegade. I want to expand on this topic. I know they said they're going to explain more on Thursday, but it's Bungie. I kind of know what direction they're going in. They're appealing to the casual people that complain about the power grind, which they should be doing, because power grind ain't the way, right? But the issue here is the portal was literally designed towards power grinding for loot. So if they take away the power grind reset and everybody keep their power, then it negates the whole purpose of the portal inherently. So if everybody get to Renegade at 450, because it's so easy to grind power now in the game, if everybody get to Renegade at 450 plus, that means tier 5 loot going to be dropping for everyone, no matter what activity you do. Whether they go in trials and they lose, tier 5. Whether they go in crucible and lose, tier 5s. And I'm talking about no lighthouse with trials, just losing and you will get tier 5s, all the loot and everything. Portal activity, literally bare minimum, tier 5, right? Especially when you hit 470. Bare minimum, tier 5, right? So if everybody gonna be getting tier 5 loot, that makes tier 5 loot less valuable, because now everyone has the same loot, so theoretically we all on the same level. So we just went back to weapons being normal again, just with extra colors and whistles. So unless Bungie increased the power, and that's why they saying what they saying, but I just don't think that's going to happen. I cannot picture Bungie saying, we increasing the power to 600 or 650, because the whole purpose of resetting our power because the number was getting too high. So they wanted to make everything smaller. But then also too, then that's a middle finger to the community phase, because the whole purpose of them making it that we don't have to grind for power is because the community complaining about grinding power. And then if you make the power go up and just saying we don't have to reset, you're inherently still doing the same thing. People still have to grind their power up even more for a new season. So I doubt that's the route they're taking, unless they just very tone deaf, right? So unless Bungie changing the way people get tier 5s in Renegade, whether it's tied to Guardian rank or is going to be tied to actual doing harder activities, the game loses its chase. And that was my whole purpose of my video yesterday. Basically explaining, if a game doesn't have a chase to it, a goal to aim for, then it's inherently not a game. You're just running a program, basically. They teach us this in gaming school and stuff. So if, what I'm assuming, if everybody getting tier 5s, the game have officially died. Officially. Because there's no reason to chase after 550 in the game. Because there's no reason to do conquest unless you care about the emblem or title or some crap. There's no reason to chase after do all the conquests, because the conquests are there to increase your power. You can get tier 5 loot from every other activity. So it's not like Conquest gives tier 5s that you can't get nowhere else. It's not like Conquest has exclusive loot that you can't get anywhere else, okay? So there's no reason to do Conquest, right? It's not like exclusive drop per week like Grandmaster used to be in Conquest. So no reason to do Conquest. Kepler only drop a certain few tier 5s if you do the Mythic difficulty, which none of them, literally none of the weapons in there are PvE meta, except Agape for hunters with lucky pants, and then maybe last Thursday PvP, and then you going for the tier 5 armor in there, the 2-piece. Other than that, you're not doing the mystic activity for it. You're just going to the loot cave. You're just going to the loot cave for the tier 5. So tier 5 is dropping too frequently in this game to the point it's inherently not special anymore. It don't feel special. Supply and demand is what makes something special. And if the supply is very high for everybody to get, with the demand, then it's not special. It's too available. It's too available. I know casual players didn't like the pinnacle system back then, with Luna Howl, Mountaintop, Wendigo, and stuff. The weapons that felt like exotics, but they were legendaries. But you had to grind hours to get them. I'm talking 50 strikes for Wendigo, I believe it was. And then like Mountaintop, you had to get like freaking 200, 300 grenade launcher kills in PvP, in competitive PvP, and then aim for a competitive rank. Stuff like that. Yeah, it took hours to do, but it was something anybody could do. It was something anybody can do. And you felt rewarded for your grind. Right now, you don't feel rewarded for your grind in this game. You hit 450, okay, tier 5 is dropping. Now what? At least Mountaintop and Luna Howl and stuff, you was like, yes, I'm the DPS king now. I can come in here and one-shot these people that didn't grind. I can go in this strike and melt this boss with Wendigo, because it was the only grenade launcher at the time that had explosive light to it, which made it the stronger GL. Like, you felt powerful for the time you put in for grinding. Right now, you don't feel powerful for the time you put in grinding. Everybody getting tier 5, whether it's through events or hitting 450. Everybody got tier 5s. And tier 5s aren't feeling special right now. They just not. So, they need to lock exclusive loot behind skill activities again. And before anybody say, they need to get rid of the port, they need to go back to the old port. No, they don't. They do not need to go back to the old system we had. Old system we had was dry, and that's why they're trying something new. The old system, we got a story per week that was boring. You beat it in like 5-10 minutes, and then people was like, there's nothing to do in this game but play Grandmaster and Nightfall again each week once. Well, not once if you farm for a weapon, but it was mostly just once, because it got to the point the loot wasn't changing, the loot pool wasn't changing in Grandmasters, so everybody had the adept weapons from Grandmaster. And Grandmaster was easy. It wasn't actually challenging. So the old system was not good. Stop coping. Stop coping. Stop trying to put negativity out there just to hate on the portal. Stop coping. It was not doing it. I'm happy Bungie was being adventurous and ambitious on trying something new. I don't think the portal is bad. I just think it lacks loot and content in the portal right now. People saying they want the old raid and dungeon back. No, you don't. Y'all the same people that complain about, oh, we're going back in Vault of Glass again just to get the same weapon we used to have. We gotta get new red frames. Like, huh? Y'all complain about doing the same old content over for the same loot. The only way Bungie can bring back the old raids and old dungeons is if, one, it's just a whole new loot pool, because y'all not finna farm for the same weapon over with a tier, because y'all just gonna say it's fake content. Y'all is not finna go for a Indebted Kindness tier 5. Y'all just gonna be like, bro, I already have an Indebted Kindness at home. Why am I farming for this again? Why am I doing the same content again? Where's the new content? This is not fun. So y'all would not accept it if they just brought back tier stuff. The only way y'all would accept them bringing the old raids and old dungeons back is two things. One, new loot. It would have to be new guns in general, and the new armor in there would have to have armor sets to them. Even if it was the same armor design, we never farmed for the armor over again. I think people would be okay getting this armor from Vault of Glass again if they had 2-piece and 4-piece armor sets to them now. It'll have to be some good ones. Can't be some trash 2-piece, 4-piece armor passive perks, but that'd be a reason why people want to actually farm it. Make the armor look cool with it. It can be a new design, but the weapons have to be new. No one finna farm an old raid or dungeon just for power. And some people is not farming it just for extra tiers. They're just gonna use the same argument. They're just gonna be contradictive. Oh, I want the old raids and stuff back for the tier 5 loot. Then it get brought back. Oh, it's the same old content. Where's the new content? Like y'all predictable now in the Destiny community. Y'all don't know what y'all want. So it gotta be new exclusive loot. And yeah, that's basically it. It just gotta be new exclusive loot for them to add it in the portal. And then it'll be good again. They need to do exclusive loot like Reclaim with the Umfall and stuff. That should have stayed in Reclaim. It shouldn't be I can get a Umfall and stuff to drop for me at Caldera or something. It should have been exclusive in Reclaim activity just like Onslaught and stuff. So that's the main issue with Destiny right now. It's the chase. There's nothing to chase after. Conquest should have its own exclusive loot to it. If you got me doing ultimate difficulty and it's a try hard activity with all these modifiers and stuff that may take me 45 minutes to an hour to beat because of bullet sponges and stuff. Put exclusive guns and armor in there that no one else can get, so I feel satisfied when I do finally beat it with my friends and them and stuff. It gotta be new loot chase out there. The grind shouldn't be power grind. Okay, it shouldn't be I need to grind a 450 and get tier 5s so I can get tier 5 weapons. Because now that you're not resetting power, everybody can do that. A casual can do that in 6 months. It'll just happen naturally for them just hopping on the game. So you gotta make it where there's exclusive loot in the game. Bring pinnacle weapons back. So for the people that love grinding and stuff and feel rewarded for their grind, bring pinnacle weapons back. Bring exclusive loot in conquest, so that's a reason to do conquest instead of just saying for power, because we can easily just grind power in portal since you're making it very bountiful in there and you're giving power away for free to people now. You need to add freaking exclusive loot to just pinnacle activities in general. Make each pinnacle activity, not every one, but like make certain ones have like exclusive loot in it where it's a reason for me to farm only this. And going to pinnacle op, it shouldn't be I can do any of these pinnacle activities for mint retrograde to drop. It should be like, hey, mint retrograde only drops in this pinnacle activity. Oh, outrageous fortune only drops in this pinnacle activity. Each pinnacle activity have its own exclusive loot pool, so that is a reason for players to funnel and play that activity. And we need new content. This is my last point. New content. The old system, it was bad, it was boring, it was stale. But at least we knew each season we got a new activity to play. Whether it was the coil, whether it was the deep dives with Season of Deep, it was something new that we could play with our friends and get new exclusive loot that only drops from those activities. Me being a coil lover and onslaught lover. They gave us a new activity on Kepler that you cannot play whenever you want in the portal. They made it time gated for some reason on Kepler. Why? I don't know. It could have been just like Blind Whale at Dreaming City and have like 3 to 6 people in that activity together in the open world having fun. It's like Bungie just lost the fun factor in their activities now. I don't know what's going on at their headquarters. Then you give Reclaim, which was a good step in the right direction, but then Reclaim is just overthrows on Paleheart. We played that activity before. Y'all seen what happened when y'all brought Onslaught back. Everybody loved the original Onslaught, then the second part 2 of Onslaught on Widow Corp and stuff. We love Midtown Onslaught more than the other ones, because y'all threw the riff in there and we were able to dunk a spark and stuff and have fun factor to it. Like, bring your fun factor back with these activities and give us a new activity each season. Reclaim don't even feel like a season that a new activity that dropped in Ash Iron. It don't feel like it's new. It got thrown in the portal, and it feel like it got thrown to the wayside because the loot in there wasn't exclusive. So they gotta bring back exclusive loot in seasonal activities and stuff. Grandmasters, conquests, what you want to call them. They gotta bring the chase back. They gotta bring back the chase for loot, and the loot need to be earnable, whether by putting in time, like pinnacle weapons were, you had to grind, or putting in skill, whether it's us doing a hard end activity like Ultimate Conquest to get the weapons / unique armor and stuff. It gotta be exclusive loot that only drops in skillful activities. Because if we just gonna be letting tier 5s reign for everybody, that is not something people chase for in this game. Okay? People gonna get their god roll in a week and then they ain't gonna touch the game again. We've seen it before in the past when crafting was very high in demand each season. Every red frame for every new weapon in the season. People got their red frames from failsafe, whoever the vendor at that moment. They got their red frames for those weapons. After they did that, they wasn't playing a new activity ever again. Because they had their god roll that they can just craft at the Enclave. And people talking about something, we need crafting back. No, we don't. Y'all just making it. But my last statement here is, Bungie, there's one thing about listening to your community, and there's one thing of knowing about some of the opinions of the people in the community are stupid. It will make your game die. Okay? It will make your game die. You got to take creative liberty and know what's good for your game and what's not. And you need to be very decisive on what your goal is with your game. Because right now, if you keep listening to all the voices in the community, y'all game going to die like a trash fire. It's gonna be on a trash can on fire, because some of these people in the community are so casual don't know the fundamentals of building a video game at all, that they just want everything given to them. My bad, was getting parched. They don't understand that the opinions they have on changing the game, the consequences behind those actions. If we make it easy for everybody to get tier 5s, and I can just play trials and just get all the loot I want, and I don't have to play good to get it and stuff. If we do all of this, the game gonna die, because they don't understand, if a game has no challenge to it, players lose interest. If a game has no goal to it, players lose interest. If the game have no new content instead of refurbished content, players stop having fun and losing interest. So there's sometimes you should listen to your community for quality of life changes, but also sometimes you gotta ignore their opinions, because they're not game designers. It's not their job to build your game right. Some of them have dumb opinions in the community that makes no sense at all on the direction of the game. They don't know what they're talking about. They just putting an opinion out there that'll make their lives easier if they was playing the game. And some of them are just lazy, okay? Some of their points are valid if they work a 9-to-5 job and stuff, and then some of them are like, nah, bro, you can put in some time. You just complain. So sometimes you gotta leave it up to community to get good. Let the YouTubers, let the content creators teach the people in the community how to get better at the game, and give them pointers and stuff on how to be harder in content. That is not y'all job, Bungie. Y'all job is to make great content for us to indulge in. Y'all job is not to make sure that the content is easy for people to do and stuff. That's the content creators' no job, to teach the people and guide them. Okay? Anyway, let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys always. And until next time, stay up.